out as President Trump's motorcade arrived at Arlington to preside over remembrance of the nation's veterans on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. In a solemn event, the President and Vice President Vance placed a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknowns, and then on to the amphitheater. The President joined military, family members, and the public for a Veterans Day program. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The measure to end the government shutdown is headed to the House of Representatives, where there could be a vote as soon as tomorrow. CBS's Natalie Brand at the White House.
The president signaling that he does, in fact, support this and hoping that government reopens as soon as possible. And because of that support, the Senate Majority Leader John Thune believes this will clear the House with House Republican support.
However it all plays out, the situation is still tense and unsettled at the nation's airports due to shortages of air traffic controllers. More than 1,000 flights have been canceled today.
The head of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, Nick Daniels, says they are suffering.
They can't pay for gas to get to work.
In Jacksonville, Florida, this traveler says,
we need to get them paid. There's a lot of lives at stake.
This traveler in Newark, New Jersey, says she's just hoping her flight leaves on time after a very challenging process.
Very tired, exhausted, and so we're here early.
Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Officials tell CBS News several Border Patrol units are pulling out of Chicago this week. Some will be deployed in Charlotte. An early blast of winter that brought snow to the Great Lakes region also features bitter cold air. Wind chills were in the teens this morning, stretching from the upper Midwest to the east and parts of the south. CBS News meteorologist Rob Marciano.
These are record lows, 28 degrees in Mobile, Baton Rouge 30 degrees, 23 degrees in Montgomery. My goodness, this is and 25 in Macon, so you get the idea.
A country hit made by artificial intelligence has climbed to the top of a Billboard chart, a first for the genre.
Been beat down, but I don't stay low.
The song Walk My Walk by an artist known as Breaking Rust is now #1 on Billboard's country digital song chart. Checking Wall Street, it's a mixed bag. The Dow is up 323 points. The S&P is down 10, and the NASDAQ is also trading lower. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Shake up in the Seattle mayor's race, the story coming up. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. A disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on I-5 northbound near South Spokane Street. Just a little slowing as you reach the West Seattle Bridge. A crash is blocking a lane on I-5 southbound near South Alborough Place. But overall, volumes are low due to the holiday. Travel times looking excellent. Everett to Seattle, 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 24. Renton to Bellevue, 19. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The family of a trucker, an innocent driver killed during a Lakewood police chase, is now suing the city. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman spoke with the family attorney.
A wild police chase in the South Sound.
They just got hit by a semi.
Ends in tragedy.
An innocent father and husband ended up dead.
57-year-old Bodan Vetrov was hit by 3 teen suspects running away from police in a stolen Kia. Those teens were arrested, but Vetrov's family believes no one has been held accountable in his death. Mark Lindquist, who is representing the Vetrov family, argues not only is Lakewood Police responsible, those officers also violated department and state law.
The family is suing for $28 million. Court documents show a man was shot in Seattle Friday after he told another passenger on a Metro bus to stop smoking fentanyl. They kept arguing as they got off that bus near 3rd and Pike. The victim was shot in the leg. Police still searching for the shooter. It's the season for holiday deliveries and porch pirates. Police say thieves often strike between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. when no one's home. Shopper Laura Lucht tells KIRO 7 TV she's hoping to avoid the problem altogether.
So I'm actually shifting my shopping patterns away from online shopping, where it's the impersonal shipping it to me, and hoping that package is where it needs to be when I get home.
Neighborhoods are also installing doorbell cameras, using secure lockers, and watching out for each other's deliveries. You're paying 14% more to eat out in Washington state than what you'd pay in other parts of the country. The Washington Hospitality Association says restaurants blame state and local regulations. For instance, in Washington, employers cannot count tips as part of a worker's wages. Overhead also plays a role, with restaurants paying higher than average rates for utilities and rent. Seattle mayoral candidate Katie Wilson has surged ahead of incumbent Bruce Harrell in the latest election ballot count. She holds a 91-vote lead now. Wilson tells KIRO News Radio's John Curley.
It's been rough, the tension, just waiting for the next ballot drop. But I think with today's drop, I'm feeling real good.
Incumbent Bruce Harrell's campaign says they're focusing on making sure every vote is counted. The next ballot drop happens at 4 p.m. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today with highs in the mid-50s. It's 47 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Tuesday, November 11th. I want to start the show off with Happy Veterans Day. Want to get that out there. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. You know, a political ripple is turning into a wave right here in Washington. We're talking from Longview to Sunnyside to Bellevue. Democratic-backed candidates have just pulled off some surprising wins, even toppling longtime incumbents. And given what happened around the rest of the country, G, at 9:30, we want to explore a particular question. We brought it up in our morning meeting, and that is, has MAGA peaked? Our text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Are we asking this question because of potential of 50-year mortgages? Or I'll just wait. Coming up next, Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Bath Fitter Northwest.
And as you mentioned, the U.S. is honoring its service members today. President Trump laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington National Cemetery, an event that is going on right now as we speak. Communities across the country are finding ways to show their appreciation. Craig Darden is a veteran.
I'm 71. The WW2 vets are dying every day. Korea is next, and there's just our Vietnam vets, and we're disappearing. We're disappearing very quickly.
This morning, plane loads of veterans on honor flights descended on Washington, D.C. Every year, a private nonprofit flies out World War II, Korean, and Vietnam War vets to visit their respective memorials. And former President Barack Obama was there to greet one flight upon landing.
Hello, everybody. What? As we approach Veterans Day, I wanted to stop by and just say thank you for your extraordinary service to you, your family. The sacrifices that all of you made to protect our country is something that will always be honored. And we are very grateful, and we also happen to welcome you with a 70-degree day in D.C., which doesn't always happen around here.
Well, again, happy Veterans Day to all of those who have, if you're active military, thank you. If you're a veteran today, thank you. I don't think that we can say enough how much you are appreciated. As a matter of fact, there is no Gee and Ursula Show without all of your service to our country and what you have done, both past and present. I hope that we continue to do better by our veterans. And you played that last sound and seeing Barack Obama on that plane, and the sound was one thing, but the faces was another.
It's beautiful.
And just the sincerity that Barack Obama has. You know what they say, Ursula? The old saying, you don't miss a good thing till it's gone. Well, I'm telling you right now, boy, do we, and I said we miss Barack Obama.
And I want to share the message, too, because I don't think we do say it nearly enough, certainly not with the depth that they deserve. But for all of you veterans and family members and your service, your sacrifice, your family's sacrifices, they have shaped the freedoms that we live with every single day. And you should be honored every day, not just today. And I also want to echo what you said, Gee, that we are so grateful for all of you. As you heard in Heather's newscast, Katie Wilson has now inched ahead of Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell by just 91 votes. And with margins this tiny, the question everyone is asking is, are we heading for a recount? And the answer is very possibly. In Washington, a recount is triggered automatically if the gap is less than 0.5% and fewer than 2,000 votes separate the candidates. Right now, this race hits both those marks. The margin is 0.04%. So unless one candidate suddenly pulls away in these last 10,000 ballots or so, a recount is basically waiting for us on the other side of certification. There's also been a lot of talk about challenged ballots.
Mm-hmm.
And just, are you surprised that it's come down to this?
I mean, I knew it'd be close. I didn't know we would be talking about 91 votes right now with at least about 8,000 to play. You said a question we're all asking ourselves, and of course I ask questions that's probably different than most. What the heck was they doing on the weekend? Why is it taking so long to count these votes? I don't know about y'all, but this is way too long. I know, like, gee, there's a process. I don't care what y'all say. This has been taking too long, but I just want to get that off my chest.
Well, I mean, it takes a long time, but you also want them to do it correctly, and this is not that unusual, given that we give people until 8 o'clock on election night to vote, right? I mean, to get your ballots in.
Ursula.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I knew I would say something that most people aren't thinking. I don't know if you guys are thinking it or not. I don't care what y'all job is to count votes. That's your job. What are we talking about? Like, we can wait for this 4 o'clock news dump. It's Tuesday. It's 7 days later, right? Why does it take so long to count? When there's taking this long to count, I think that it gets to some of us and be like, man,
well, and it's more noticeable when it's a very close race like there is right now. And now they're talking about a few thousand ballots that have issues, like missing signatures or signatures that didn't match, and then those voters are being contacted to cure their ballots. And so when you're talking about 91 in a difference right now, every single vote counts. Question: did we find out, Chef? Like, if you want to confirm that your vote has been counted?
Yes, I've got a link up on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page. Also, literally just heard back like 2 minutes ago from Haley Watkins with King County Elections, and it looks like so far there are 2,831 ballots that were postmarked too late to count in this election in King County.
Oh. Wow. So, again...
So is this abnormal? Because usually, does government usually go faster than these counts, or is this kind of par for the course?
Well, when it's a very close race, because some of the races, Gurmai-Zahalai, for example, there's enough of a difference in the vote count that you can call the race. There's no way that they're going to make it up. But in this case, we're talking about a handful of votes. Yeah, it could take until, I think we've got until... Is it the 21st? Chef, you need to fact check me too on certification.
I'm not talking about the calling of the race. I understand that part. I'm talking about that there's still 8,000 votes to count. And my thing is why is it taking us so long to count all these votes?
Well,
that was my point.
We can have someone with the elections office join us at 11 o'clock, and you can ask her directly, because we have put a request out for that interview. Are you getting overcharged at the grocery store? A KIRO 7 TV report led to a nationwide Consumer Reports investigation that found rampant incorrect pricing on sale items at Kroger stores. This grocery store manager tipped off KIRO 7 TV's Gary Horker.
How often do you think errors on the receipts happen?
Every third, fourth customer, probably.
It turns out sales tags were often expired, so customers would have to pay full price at checkout. Betty Johnson was a secret shopper at the Fred Meyer in Bothell, and she found incorrect pricing, she says, everywhere.
If I found a section that had been missed, pretty much every sale tag was expired.
People were looking and making a decision on whether or not they're going to buy that item. Was not only expired, that price had gone up.
It had reverted to the regular price.
Which was higher.
Yes.
So why was this happening?
Staffing issues that came up repeatedly as the chief culprit.
Derek Kravitz of Consumer Reports led the investigation, and even he was surprised at the amount Betty was overcharged.
In that one shopping trip, it was 11.
She was overcharged for 11 items in one basket.
In one basket.
So nationally, Consumer Reports found that the average overcharge was $1.70 per item, or nearly 20% more. Now, thanks to this investigation from KIRO 7 TV and Consumer Reports, it has led to some changes. A recent audit of sales tags at Fred Meyer in that Bothell store, Bellevue, and Issaquah found 0 issues this time around. But Tad O'Neill, who is the assistant AG in Washington's Consumer Protection Division, says pricing mistakes are rampant and consumers have a right to whatever price is advertised, and he encourages shoppers to report those mistakes, and they will be followed up on.
You can scan your documents, you can email them to us, you can actually come down to our office and hand them to us as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm starting to realize that a lot of corporate mistakes always fall on the backs of us. Right? We have to pay for these mistakes. And so somebody might say, well, why is that happening? Well, because I think I saw in there, they're trying to say, like, now if a store gets fined or they get caught, they'll be fined $2,000. That ain't enough. That's not enough. You got to make these stores like really pay for that. And what I mean by that, and the reason what you're hearing my voice fluctuate this way, I keep thinking about our elderly populations, our seniors. I keep thinking about people that are on SNAP benefits. I keep thinking about the families that are planning meal by meal. I keep thinking about some of the seniors that need to make sure they have meals for their medication, making sure that their money, their fixed income, make sure it stretches. And we all already know that the price is going up. And that person said every third or fourth customer, there is a pricing problem. No. Don't make it $2,000. Make that thing $50,000 of a fine per situation where it does not match up. Make it $50,000.
I mean, I get your energy.
It's interesting. I know. See, that sounds ridiculous, right? I'll tell you what's even more ridiculous. It's more ridiculous to accept every third or fourth customer for us, our people, to be cheated. Now, look, I'm fine. So that's why. So if I sound outrageous, that's the point. It's not outrageous for us to just keep accepting this.
Yeah. In 2024, Safeway, Albertsons, and Vons had to pay up nearly $4 million to settle lawsuits in other states because of pricing errors. And I understand that your energy on that because no one has the time or the energy to argue over every $2 mistake here or there. And stores know that. I mean, how often do you actually check your receipt? So if pricing errors are this common, I think you're right that it needs to be a much bigger penalty. If it's more than just, hey, it's an occasional mistake. If it looks like it is intentional and you can prove that it's not just an accident, but it looks like their business model to rip people off, then yeah, the penalties need to be a lot more, and it should be just an automatic refund.
Speaking of penalty,
automatic, you get the sale price, no matter what. No arguments. You get the sale price.
Reminds me of the carpool lane. Right now, the carpool lane, you used to be able to just pay that ticket, and you good. Now, they got a new thing now where it is attached to it goes on your driving record. Like, it would raise your insurance premium. So, guess what? There's a lot of people that's like, I'm not driving in it no more. When the consequences are a little bit heavy, you choose your behavior differently.
Yeah. But my only concern with it being so heavy per penalty would mean then that what happens? They're going to just pass that expense on to you. And then everyone loses yet again. But definitely need to get their act together. And I'm glad to see that after KIRO 7 TV did this investigation, that things were better in these particular stores that were checked again. So if you have felt sticker shock every time you sit down at a restaurant lately, you are not imagining that, because eating out in Seattle really is much more expensive than almost anywhere else in the entire country. And we're talking about chain restaurants specifically. A new analysis from the Washington Hospitality Association shows that Seattle's menu prices are more than 17% above the average in other major U.S. cities, second only to San Francisco. And it's not just a Seattle thing. Washington State as a whole ranks as the most expensive place in the country to dine out, with average menu prices about 14% higher than the national. And this research actually looked at the same dishes at chains like Olive Garden, Taco Bell, Denny's, and they found big gaps from city to city. And the restaurant owners are saying, yeah, the numbers track because our costs are higher. They point out that we have one of the highest minimum wages in the country. And unlike many states, Washington does not allow a tip credit, which means restaurants have to pay servers the full minimum wage in cash because tips cannot be used to offset it. Then they point out also to steep rent, utilities, insurance. And so that's why you're paying more.
Yeah, it is why. And just a reminder right now, the state of Washington right now has a $16.66 minimum wage. That's going to go up to $17.13 in January of 2026. We know about labor costs. We know about operating expenses. Matter of fact, some of you all are restaurant owners. You all text in and you tell us how your costs have gone up. So, of course, it makes sense. But something to think about here, since we're talking about cost and we want to compare this place to other states in the country. The federal minimum wage is still $7.25. How many states, you're like, well, gee, that doesn't. Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Mississippi, New Hampshire, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Guess what? Their minimum wage is $7.25. What is the cost of a gallon of milk in the country right now? Look that up. The average cost of a gallon of milk is $4.13. So that means you got to work an hour to dang near get you a gallon of milk. Just let that sink in for a second. All the things going on in this country, in our world, we still have states that are in that situation. So when we're talking about the state of Washington and we wonder, well, why is it so expensive to go eat? Because we have a higher minimum wage and it's higher for them for their cost.
So bottom line is, the question is, do you mind that we have among the highest, or we are the most expensive place in the country to dine out? Has that altered what you do when it comes to eating outside of your home? Some restaurants have tried rolling out lower priced options to bring diners back, but there's only so far they can go before they say their margins disappear. So how is that affecting you? This research also looked at a Capitol Grill New York strip is a few dollars cheaper in Charlotte. Grand Slam at Denny's is about $5 cheaper in Austin. I mean, you mentioned those places where they have the lower minimum wages. And yeah, absolutely.
And that doesn't, and wait a minute, and that doesn't even count if you're a server in some of those states where they are allowed to pay you under $7.25. So the state of Washington still pays their servers starting at the $16.66, and then, of course, depending on which city you're in, SeaTac and all that stuff. So 9:47, we have Would You Rather happening. We'll definitely need that game today. But coming up next, did you guys hear that the president brought he was a terrorist, and then before he came and officially got inside of the White House, the terrorist tag was removed. Did you know? Yeah, this was yesterday. We'll talk about that next. Gee Ursula.
Are you kidding me? Another touchdown! Seahawks!
Another dominant performance. Winners of 4 in a row.
What a game!
Come on now.
Touchdown! Seahawks! And guess who? Jackson Smith and Jigba.
What we're building here, we all feel like we have something special.
Mike McDonald walked into Lumen Field yesterday and said, "Let me get my belt."
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, the home of the Seahawks.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all?
That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Ooh, hey, remember those yodelers we met in the Alps? I wired them euros from the bank, and they sent me their yodels in a can.
You wired money for canned yodels? That is so dumb. Banks are slow, and they hide fees and overseas transfers and exchange rates.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
If you're gonna send money to Europe, just use Wise. Wise is super fast and never hides fees.
Smart.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I wanted to.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. At Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Saluting the bravest among us, the men and women who've served our country's armed forces across the Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. Your selflessness and sacrifice are why we remain the land of the free because of the brave. Happy Veterans Day. From KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
I'm pissed,
Frustrated air travelers. Flight restrictions at the nation's airports rose to 6% this morning as air traffic controllers continue to call in sick rather than work without pay during the government shutdown. 53 flights canceled, 34 delayed so far today at SeaTac Airport, where this passenger tells KIRO 7 TV.
It's unacceptable, honestly. I think the government shutdown it's unbelievable.
A Senate bill to end the government shutdown is headed to the U.S. House now. CBS's Michael Wallace with the latest.
8 Democrats crossed the aisle last night to approve the Senate plan, which does not include the health care tax credit extensions Democrats had been holding out for. Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders.
What the fight was about was health care. It was a loss.
The bill funds the government through January and reverses the layoffs enacted during the shutdown.
Republicans say they will take up the health care tax credits next month. Seattle mayoral candidate Katie Wilson now has a 91-vote lead over incumbent Bruce Harrell after the latest ballot count. The results of the next ballot tally is set to be released at 4 this afternoon. Republican strategist Randy Pepple tells KIRO News Radio.
Both campaigns are going to be out there trying to find people who voted, but their ballot isn't being counted because of a signature problem or a verification problem. Those people could end up deciding this election.
If in the end the two are separated by less than 2,000 votes, there will be a recount. Newly elected King County Executive Gurmai Zahalai today explained he plans to find out what the county needs by taking a first-hand look.
Spending the night shift in our King County jails, riding the metro buses. You will find me in our public health clinics, learning the issues that you are experiencing every day.
Zahalai is the first immigrant and first refugee to be elected King County Executive. He officially takes office November 25th. The 72nd Annual National Veterans Day observance at Arlington National Cemetery there. Locally, volunteers are placing thousands of flags at Evergreen Washelli Cemetery and hearing tributes from Joint Base Lewis McChord. On the east side, Sunset Hills Memorial hosts a ceremony marking the Vietnam War's 50th anniversary. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 319 points, NASDAQ down 142. KIRO News Radio traffic. The disabled vehicle looks like it was moved from I-5 northbound near South Spokane Street. I'm not seeing a backup anymore near the West Seattle Bridge. Overall volumes are low due to the holiday, and your travel types are great. Everett to Seattle, 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 24. Renton to Bellevue, 19. Traffic brought to you by the Emerald's Queen Casino. Country's rising star Chase Matthew hits the Emerald's Queen Casino December 7th. The Emerald's Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today with highs in the mid-50s. It's 47 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Text us at 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. President Trump hosted a meeting yesterday, unlike anything we've ever seen at the White House. Syria's new leader, Ahmed al-Shara, is in Washington, D.C., the first Syrian head of state to ever visit the Oval Office. And if that name rings a bell, it is because al-Shara's path to power is anything but traditional. He was once imprisoned by the U.S. in Iraq. Until 3 days ago, he was branded as an international terrorist by the U.S. government with a $10 million bounty on his head. But now he has led the rebel coalition that toppled Bashar al-Assad last December, ending a 50-year dictatorship, and he is now the interim president of Syria. And President Trump was asked about the reversal.
I'm very much in favor of what's happening in Syria. We have to make Syria work. Syria is a big part of the Middle East.
And I will tell you, I think it is working and really well. We're working also with Israel on, getting along with Syria, getting along with everybody.
So, Gee, the purpose of this meeting was to finalize Syria's agreement to join 88 other countries in the global coalition to defeat ISIS, which is still active in that country.
Yeah, you could have just did that in a different way. Joni Ernst, Republican out of Iowa, they called the meeting an important step forward for peace in the Middle East. Okay, you can thrive for that and you can try to get the peace, but the optics of that the day before Veterans Day was absolutely awful. To have him standing there in the Oval Office, that's one. Two, for this whole continuation of, wait, he was a terrorist. It was considered that way, right? At one point in time, this aligned commander who had designated a terrorist and carried a $10 million U.S. bounty. But they removed that designation just a few days before, and they had that. The things that is happening right now makes me just, what? I can't believe we're even discussing and talking about this, and it's so. There's so many things that's happening every single day that it's hard to even just focus on this one. You have this topic, this happened, they removed the designation of terrorist. He's in the Oval Office. We'll be talking about something in about another 10 minutes. It'll be something different. Every single day we are talking about something that blows our mind, cannot believe. And then the GOP just stands silent and doesn't say anything.
Well, it leads me to the question, too, though, because we know what happened with this election, looking at it in a national perspective. And the question we were asking this morning is, has MAGA peaked? Now, we know that MAGA has never been dominant in the state of Washington, but the Seattle Times and Spokesman Review are taking note of some big Democratic wins in some surprising places. So Washington just saw one of its most sweeping off-year swings toward Democrats in more than a decade, and it didn't show up in King County or the usual blue strongholds. We're talking about this ripple stretching from Longview to Sunnyside to Spokane, and we're talking about in some special legislative races. So, for example, in Longview, Wayne Nichols defeated Mayor Spence Boudreau, while Mike Claxton captured a council seat over a Republican-endorsed opponent. And there's a third race that remains too close to call, with the conservative candidate narrowly ahead. But in Sunnyside, Democrats celebrated wins in 3 of 4 council races, flipping the majority. Again, Sunnyside. If you look at Camas, there is a candidate running with the Democratic support, ousting the incumbent there, who was a former GOP congressional delegate. And then statewide, Democrats swept all 9 special legislative elections, including high-stakes Senate races in Pierce and King counties. And then just here in Bellevue, longtime city council member Conrad Lee, who was known for donating $50,000 to Trump's inaugural committee, lost to a 27-year-old Democratic-endorsed challenger. So what do you make of this? And how would you answer the question, has MAGA peaked?
Well, first, let me say yes. Yes, MAGA has peaked. The next thing that I want to say is that, look, most people, even if you did vote for Donald Trump, most people understand who and what Donald Trump is. You just had a choice between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. And in this case, the country spoke, and they would rather have that man over Kamala Harris. And I hope this country goes to school over that, because I just don't think right now the United States of America is ready to vote in a woman to be president. With that being said, Ursula, the reason why I'm saying that MAGA has peaked, it's no secret anymore. You know what he is. He continues to show what he is right now. You're seeing, they know the ridiculousness that is happening, that you're seeing on social media every day. 1 minute you're seeing, shout out to all the mortgage brokers out there, you see the White House and suggestion of 50-year mortgages. Like, hey, come on in here and just go ahead and rent for the rest of your life and pay way more interest. But by the way, you'll be saving $200 to $300 a month on your mortgage. Oh, by the way, how about a 15-year car loan? That'll make things better for you. They know. Even if you're listening right now and you voted for Trump, you know what he is. It's no secret. The reason why MAGA is peaked is because it's not a secret anymore. The things that were said about him, he is displaying them. And I'd argue over the last 2 weeks, the dude has lost his mind. Seriously, we're talking about a president that's literally lost his mind. And oh, by the way, the Epstein files are still there. That is still a thing. And there's some people that feel a certain type of way. But even with the Epstein files, you still felt that Donald Trump was better than, look, I'm going to say it. A lot of people in this country thought, I'm not voting for the black lady, period. I'm not voting for the black lady. I'd rather vote for this. You know, the guy that's an adjudicated sexual abuser, that guy, the guy that was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, the guy that's making sure that Jeffrey Epstein's person that's being held responsible is getting all the help. People know.
Well, I think they're also learning that the promises made about turning the economy around, unless you are big on your 401k, that part is going really, really well. But when we're talking about farmers who are dying by suicide at increased rates because they're just hurting very badly right now. I mean, or where you are hearing about these races across the country where people are talking about affordability, and that's really resonating. And a lot of folks are finding out, hey, my vote for Donald Trump did not make my bottom line or my pocketbook any better.
Yeah. Hey, Ursula, you know what? If the best way to predict the future is understand history. And if we're talking about history and we're talking about the economy, I'm going to say something right here. Now, some of you guys might get mad, but just let me know if it's a fact or not. The fact is, of post-World War II recessions that have happened in this country, 10 of the 11 have been under Republican presidents. Like, it's not rocket science, everyone. You know what's getting ready to happen. We know what this is going on. So a lot of the rich people, the 1%, they're getting their money now. And while they get their money, the rest of the working class in this country is absolutely struggling, right? And because we have oligarchs in this country, we have people
They're doing well.
They're doing great. They're doing fantastic. And this is why. And shout out to Donald Trump. I got to give him credit on something. That dude gets on TV every single day, and he looks right in the camera, and he says, it's a hoax. Your groceries aren't more expensive. Prices are down. I'm doing better than ever. It works. It works.
Yeah. Well, it works with some, but I think ultimately this is why I believe it has peaked. I think people are realizing, you know, we had something pulled over our eyes, and now we're seeing it very, very clearly.
You think they're seeing it?
I think a lot of people are. Hey, just don't want to forget, this is a showdown you don't want to miss. Sam Darnold versus his old team. The Seahawks season is in full swing. We want to send you and 3 friends to the November 30th game. All you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app. Hopefully you have it already open. Click the Win tab to find out how. And if you don't already have the app, simply text app to 888-973-5476, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, November 17th.
All right. World famous Would You Rather game coming up next. Gee Ursula.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83 or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83 or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83 or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83 or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So you and I have talked before about the folks who think they can do this themselves. And again, I imagine there are a lot of people who are saying, well, new administration, fewer staff members, now I truly can get it done.
Really, in this situation, I do feel really bad for the taxpayer because here you're getting a notice. You call the IRS, you're going to be on hold for 45 minutes to an hour. And so getting through is going to be more difficult. And when you do get through, you're going to be talking to people that are not as well trained as they have been in the past.
Which makes it even easier for them to take advantage, even if it's not intended, against the person who owes taxes.
I've heard it said that they just will make up something because they want to respond to the taxpayer. And people are going to get some really bad information and they're not going to know.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain and stem cells really work for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey there, Don Reiling with Olympic Hot Tub. When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is so delightful. Heat up the season and gift yourself year-round wellness from Olympic. A soak in a saltwater hot spring spa is pure bliss, the perfect escape at the end of the day. Or warm body and soul in a Tilo sauna, your ideal retreat. Heck, you deserve both. Our Heat Up the Season savings end November 23rd. Learn more at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
One day, the words on the page blur. You hold the menu a little farther away. It's subtle, until it's not. At Near and Far Vision Partners, we help you see clearly, near, far, and in between. Expert surgeons, advanced technology, sharper focus for every moment. Schedule your complimentary consultation at nearandfarvision.com or call 425-900-2414. Near and Far Vision Partners in Bothell.
It is Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, coming up at the top of the 10 o'clock hour, just found out, did you know that there is a group that is helping Seattle candidates get elected in Seattle? We talk about that at the 10 o'clock hour, but right now, let's get to it. It's the world famous.
Let me make something crystal clear. This one truly scares me.
It's time to make Ursula uncomfortable.
Here we go. Would you rather be famous for the wrong reason or forgotten for doing right?
I would rather be forgotten for doing right, because inside I would know I did the right thing. But man, could it be famous for doing the wrong thing? You could not lose that stench.
I just want to say, I cannot wait for the people today that are getting famous for the wrong reasons. I can't wait. I cannot wait for that day, because the internet's forever, baby. It doesn't forget. I cannot wait till you be on the wrong side of history. But yeah, I'm with you.
Same.
I'd rather be forgotten doing the right thing. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Here we go. Would you rather have dinner with your younger self or future self? This one's easy.
Oh.
This one's very easy.
I would rather have dinner with my younger self. I would tell her a lot of things that she had wrong at that time. I would tell her that when she is in a room that is dominated by men who don't give her much of a platform, that she needs to speak out then and not hold it in and take the consequences instead of holding it in.
Yeah.
There's a lot, but I would much rather talk to somebody, to myself when I was younger. How about you?
This is so easy. Let me talk to my future self. As a matter of fact, I want to talk. Hey, G, you're 80 years old. What's up? No, I'm being for real.
Yeah.
Hey, tell me what your day's like. Oh, tell me what little things that I did not take care of in my 40s that you wish that I would have now that you're 80. Oh, okay, okay, what we living at? What is our day-to-day life like?
Yeah.
Who are our friends? I want to talk to my future self all day long. My younger self is why I am the way I am today. Ain't no regrets. Go ahead and learn. The future self, man, I want to talk to me at 80. What's up?
Exactly. Like if you talked to your younger self, Ursula, you would change the entire trajectory of your own life. You would likely not be the same person, may not have this job, may not have the same husband, same kids. But if you talk to your future self, you have a chance to redeem your future regrets. Like, I want to know what I regret most in my life. Like, what did I miss out on from this point forward that I should be paying more attention to?
Yeah. But see, if I could go back to my younger self, I would also tell her, you don't need to take that job just to have that title, only to work 14-hour shifts and almost kill yourself because you work too hard.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to care about that. There's a lot of messages that I would give my younger self. But I will say that a lot of people, if you talk to a hospice nurse, people at the end of their lives, they never regret all the hour. I mean, they always regret like not spending more time with family. They never say like, oh, I wish I spent more time at work.
Yeah. Here we go. Would you rather relive your best day or undo your worst day? Relive your best day or undo your worst day?
I would undo my worst day. I have a few worst days. I mean, basically, loss of siblings, loss of brothers, loss of my parents. I would love to undo those.
Yeah. I would undo my worst day. I would way rather undo my worst day than relive my best day.
Yeah.
Easy, hands down.
Is it easy for you to say what is your worst day?
No, it's not really easy because, I mean, you would think that the death of my dad was my worst day. That's not my worst day. My actual worst day was the last time I was in person with him. And there is a video recently that I posted of him, and for some reason before I left, I took the video of him dancing. Anyways, what happened on that day, he says, "Hey, champ, what are you going to do afterwards? And I was tired. And so I said, hey, I'm just going to go, and I'm going to be close to the airport. I'm going to go and stay and get ready to fly out. So I did not hang out with him after that event. That's my worst day.
I think I'd rather relive my best day, because I don't have one worst day. I just have like accumulation of poor small decisions that snowballed.
Nikki makes a good point. Nikki says undoing worst days help mold who and how we become today.
True that.
I'll relive the best day, because usually you only get those days once in a blue moon. Good stuff, Nikki. Hey, Brady, how you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. But are you proud of me that I have not used your name in anything?
It's only been 1 hour.
I mean, yeah, we got 2 more hours, and I have a feeling that you're just waiting for the back half.
You got me, Brady. You got me. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, I was yesterday years old before I found out that there was a group in Seattle that's helping Seattle candidates get elected. Let's discuss this next. Gee and Ursula.
You know that cartoon of the three-eyed fish swimming in polluted water next to a nuclear power plant?
Yeah, classic.
I used to think that was real, but I just learned that nuclear energy waste isn't some glowing green goo. It's actually used fuel rods from nuclear reactors that made electricity.
Wait, so no barrels of leaking sludge?
No, solid used fuel rods are safely stored at all the nuclear power plants in the U.S., including the one in Richland.
So the cartoon fish isn't real?
Not even close. Learn the facts about nuclear energy and used fuel at energy-northwest.com.
Announcing the Royal Corgis.
What have you done?
I wired pounds to London to buy Royal Corgis.
You went to the bank to wire money for Royal Corgis?
That means yes.
You are so dumb. Banks are slow and they hide all kinds of fees and transfers.
Those mutts.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. It's faster and never hides fees. Oh, they're fighting, just like the real royal family.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Reutin, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
At Care Partners Senior Living, we believe in providing quality care at an affordable price. Instead of spending on luxury and expensive art, we invest in our people and accommodations with a focus on compassionate overall health. Our communities offer independent, assisted living, and memory care designed to preserve dignity, independence, and your estate. Affordable, personal, trusted. That's our promise. Please give us a call. We have beautiful Care Partners communities throughout Washington and Arizona. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Medicare's annual enrollment period is the one time each year for people to review their coverage and ensure it still works for them. Premiums, prescriptions, and provider networks can shift from year to year. With more, here's Blake Amos, Medicare expert with HealthSpring.
Medicare enrollment is an important opportunity to make sure your plan still matches your health and budget needs. Even if you are satisfied with your current coverage, it's smart to check for updates so you are not caught off guard by unexpected costs or limited access.
The Medicare annual enrollment period runs through December 7th. It's a time for people with original Medicare to consider supplemental coverage or explore Medicare Advantage plans. It's important to research and understand these different options to find the right fit.
When comparing plans, look closely at monthly premiums, deductibles, and which prescriptions are covered. Also, check that your doctors and hospitals are in network. Taking the time to compare options now helps avoid costly surprises later.
To learn more about Medicare annual enrollment, visit healthspring.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good-to-Go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good-to-Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. America salutes its military veterans. President Trump led the Veterans Day ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery.
Because of what every veteran has done today, the flame of liberty shines bright. The people of our nation sleep safe. The American dream surges forward. And our magnificent destiny stands more splendid and glorious than ever before.
The House could take up the Senate-passed measure to end the government shutdown as early as tomorrow. But while the Senate Republican leader has promised a vote on health care subsidies sought by Democrats, CBS's Torian Small says it's up in the air in the House.
Speaker Johnson will not commit to voting for a standalone bill on health care subsidies that are set to sunset at the end of the year. And even if he did, there still is no guarantee that we could see any Republicans within his chamber join with Democrats to get that across the finish line.
No improvement at the nation's airports, where there have been more than 1,000 cancellations today.
Another day, another round of flight delays and cancellations. Rebecca from Tewksbury and Dawn from Boston switched from American to Delta after their flight was canceled yesterday.
Proactively, we were just kind of, checking the flight statuses yesterday, and we did get a notification that our flights were canceled.
They're well aware their flight back home to Logan may also be affected. That's because flight reductions increased to 6% today and up to 10% by Friday. James Rojas for CBS News, Boston.
Baby formula manufacturer ByHeart has now recalled all of its products nationwide. That move comes after some batches were recalled amid an expanding outbreak of infant botulism. CBS's Michael Wallace tells us Republican state lawmakers in Utah are promising a fight after a judge rejected their congressional redistricting map.
Judge Diana Gibson ruled the map was gerrymandered to favor Republicans. It divided Salt Lake City into 4 districts with GOP majorities. Instead, she has adopted a map drawn up by a centrist coalition that preserves a Democratic-leaning district around the city. Catherine Bealey is president of the League of Women Voters of Utah.
We have done something special. Democrats, Republicans, independents, you now have a voice.
Republicans called the judge's decision judicial activism.
Overseas, a Russian court has extended the jailing of an 18-year-old street singer for another 2 weeks on charges that are seen as punishment for performing anti-war songs. Dallas Mavericks of the NBA have fired general manager Nico Harrison 9 months after the trade of Luka Doncic to the Lakers. Wall Street, the Dow is up more than 400 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
Why you might be getting overcharged at the grocery store. That's one of the stories coming up at first. KIRO Newsradio traffic. A disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on I-5 northbound near Seneca Street. You're backed up to the West Seattle Bridge, and you are slow northbound through the 5 curve. Not exactly sure why, but this is not a significant impact on your travel times, which are flying today. Everett to Seattle will take you 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 24. Renton to Bellevue, 19. Traffic brought to you by AAA. AAA Washington membership unlocks epic roadside rescues, hundreds of local perks and discounts, travel, insurance, expertise, and more.
KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The family of a truck driver struck and killed by a group of teens fleeing Lakewood police are suing the city of Lakewood for $28 million. Mark Lindquist, an attorney for the family of Bohdan Vetrov, tells KIRO 7 TV.
They're also looking for justice
and they want to make sure that no other families go through this.
They say the 2023 chase violated the police department's own safety policies. A former Pierce County Sheriff's Major has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of vehicular assault DUI for a crash in Graham. Prosecutors say Chad Dickerson hit an SUV with a family of 6 inside in July. Dickerson's attorney in court.
He is taking this case very seriously. He is 52 years old. He's married. He has been a longstanding member of our Pierce County community.
A jury trial is set for January. You've waited for that special holiday gift only to have someone steal it off your front porch. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas with advice on outwitting porch pirates.
Check with your delivery company. For example, with Amazon, there's real-time tracking amongst other safeguards.
Another one is the hidden drop-off location, where you actually tell the drivers where to hide your packages on the front porch so it's outside of public view.
Amazon is also working with the National Sheriff's Association, creating community-tailored resources to track porch pirates. We also reached out to FedEx, UPS, and the United States Postal Service, all of whom offer various options like signature confirmation and email alerts.
A Consumer Reports investigation finds that grocery stores are routinely overcharging you. KIRO 7 TV's Gary Horker spoke to one of the secret shoppers who helped with the probe.
Betty and the other secret shoppers started noticing a pattern.
This is one that was way out of date.
Betty saw the expiration date on the sales tags were often days or even weeks old. The entire 26-store Consumer Reports investigation, including Betty's, revealed expired, inaccurate sales tags on more than 150 items, from dog food to coffee.
Consumer Reports found that understaffing at stores contributed to the problem. Seattle mayoral candidate Katie Wilson has surged ahead of incumbent Bruce Harrell in the latest election ballot count. She holds a 91-vote lead now. Bruce Harrell's campaign says they're focusing on making sure every vote is counted. A separation of 2,000 or fewer votes will trigger an automatic recount. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today with highs in the mid-50s. It's 52 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Tuesday, November 11th. Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, coming up at 10:30, Sully's going to join us, and we're going to talk about the slow down, move over laws, because a lot of people seem to be confused. So it was a lot of fun when he joins us. As always, we invite you to join us on the text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
What's new at 10?
A lot of election talk this week, and there is a group that has been working behind the scenes, and I hadn't heard of them until this morning. Have you heard of the Working Families Party?
No.
So before this week, we hadn't heard about them, but they had a big impact on this year's election. Now, of the 5 citywide candidates that they endorsed on the Seattle City Council, at least 4 of them won: Eddie Lynn, Erica Evans, Diane Foster, and Alexis Mercedes Rank. The Working Family Party also endorsed Seattle mayoral candidate Katie Wilson. Now, this group focuses on candidates who push for affordability, racial equity, and working class issues, and they back that up with real campaign support, everything from digital outreach to volunteer organizing. The Seattle Times reports that this party started in New York, but has been growing steadily here in Washington, especially over the last couple of years. And their message is really simple, something that is resonating with a lot of folks here, which is that working people should have a bigger voice in government, not just at election time, but in actual governing power. State Democratic Chair Shasti Conrad says she respects the group's approach. She sees it motivating more progressives to run, and candidates like Eddie Lynn say the endorsement helps first-time candidates, especially candidates of color, break through all the noise and stay focused on issues that matter most to working families. So, and as you know, G, there's a lot of questions right now within the Democratic Party, and there's a tug of war going on between should they moderate given what is going on nationally, and be more moderate, or should they go with trending toward more democratic socialist tendencies?
Right. Well, one thing that I think that we must remember is that we cannot consider politics in Seattle to be the same as politics across the country.
For sure.
This country is it's just different in different areas. A mayoral candidate and how they win in Detroit will be different in how they win in Seattle. And specifically what I mean by that is I just want to say this about Seattle. Seattle is a different place compared to the rest of the country. When I go back to Chicago and I go there, it is so, how can I say this? Yes, there's different races and ethnicities, but it's so segregated still. But when you think of Seattle, you don't see it like that way. You see everybody that's together and that thing. So it's very special here in Seattle. As for this Working Families Party, I didn't find out about this until last night or yesterday. But I had been seeing all of the candidates that you talked about. I didn't know that they were all part of one group, but I even sent you guys a picture. This group has been together a lot during the campaign. And so the thing is that actually speaks to my heart about what the Working Families Party is about. It's exactly what I have said before on this show, is sometimes you have a subset of politicians, actually most, where they all have the same similarities. Maybe they come from a great family, a financially well-to-do family. They went to these private schools and all of that. And you didn't usually get the working class politician because they could not afford to get into the race. So they get beat out by a candidate that might not have been as good, but they just got more money.
Yeah, well-funded.
And the working family is basically saying, no, we and you need voices, right, that come from the working class. And right now, the median age, 35 in Seattle, I just found out about them. Interesting.
It is interesting. And one of the issues that I had, and we have voiced on this show about Katie Wilson and what appears to be maybe her likelihood of becoming Seattle's next mayor, is that she is someone who hasn't worked in a big organization or held any other kind of governmental office, or she doesn't have it was the lack of experience that concerns me when it comes to now taking over a $9 billion budget. And one of the things about this Working Families Party is that they're saying, well, she's actually someone who can relate to a lot of people in this city. And just because she was funded well in this campaign, but just because she is not someone who is a political elite or someone who has been in office for a long time doesn't mean that she shouldn't have a chance to be a viable candidate.
Right. Agree. Well, I can relate to a lot of the Seahawks players right now. Doesn't mean I should just go and be the next head coach for the Seahawks. That's my only thing with Katie Wilson. I'm not saying that there are things, because there have been things that she has said that I'm like, oh, I agree with that. Oh, I agree. So it's not about Katie Wilson, the person. It's not Katie Wilson, the ideas. It is, oh, wait a minute. What happened? When did we get to the point where you're able to miss all of those things? When did we get to the point where, because if that was the case, they should have elected Nikita Oliver during that time. If that was the case, like, it feels like the rules changed for Katie Wilson as opposed to the other candidates that Erica Evans, extremely qualified. Tion Foster, like I can keep going on their qualifications. I just don't see the qualifications for a Katie Wilson. Again, the biggest budget that she's handled, she's never had employees. The biggest budget she's managed
help from her parents,
the biggest budget she's managed is $200,000. So again, it seems like, and maybe I'm outdated in what I'm saying. Maybe
I'm outdated.
Maybe people are saying, "Hey, G, we don't care about that anymore. You can just come right in and do that." Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and ultimately, obviously, if she does become Seattle's mayor, then I'm going to want to do everything, that in hopes of supporting her do the right thing, because we all obviously want and need to have a successful city. Yeah. I'm just very nervous about this situation.
I just don't think Erica Evans can be city attorney without graduating from college, without being exceptional at what she does. And I'm not thinking that Gurmai Zulai could be the King County executive. Again,
yeah, you're saying there's different rules. Yeah, there's different rules
there's this
depending
thing,
on,
Yeah, there's this thing that y'all know. Sometimes some folks got to be 2 times and 3 times better.
Yeah.
That's my only thing.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I think you're right, and I also have other issues, but we'll see, and hopefully this vote count will make it more clear later this afternoon. Now, I got to talk about something going on in Whatcom County, because this is so disturbing. A detective says years of harassment and retaliation inside her own department have left her with post-traumatic stress disorder, and she is not able to work anymore. In a new $30 million tort claim, Detective Samantha Robinson alleges a decade of hostility, including a sexually explicit AI-generated video of her that a fellow detective allegedly created while on duty and then shared around the sheriff's office. Even more disturbing is that the video depicts sexual contact between Detective Robinson and Detective Jones's father. Now, Cascadia Daily News reports that Jones was not placed on administrative leave. Who's Jones?
Detective Jones.
Until after the claim was filed. And furthermore, he was neither investigated or disciplined, even though the video was allegedly created and circulated 6 months earlier. The sheriff there, Donnell Tanksley, says he didn't learn about this video until October and has now launched both a criminal investigation by Mount Vernon Police and a separate third-party internal review. Robinson says that video was only one part of a long pattern of harassment, from being told she got promotions only because she's a woman, to male colleagues throwing sexually explicit objects at her, to being pressured into emotionally traumatic work without proper support. The claim says the treatment led to panic attacks, PTSD, and medical leave. And her filing also accuses the undersheriff of retaliation and interfering with pregnancy accommodations. She was one of 13 deputies who were previously reported him for harassment.
How many?
13 deputies who previously reported him for harassment, although an earlier investigation cleared him. So the county's executive now says many of these allegations fall under the authority of the independently elected sheriff. An internal investigation into Robinson, which she believes is retaliatory, is also ongoing. I mean, talk about a disturbing mess.
Very much so. That I just got to say, Ursula, that was a lot, almost to the point where I needed a break in between time, because especially when you said 13, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, 13. And then nothing was going to happen. He was cleared until 6 months later. So first,
well, and then she's alleging that this went on for 10 years. She is alleging that there's a sexually explicit AI-generated video that another detective created while on duty and then shared around the sheriff's office. If even a fraction of this is true, first of all,
I mean, look, you said if even a fraction of it's true. You know what? If it sounds like a duck and it looks like a duck, most of the time it's a duck.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said, though. There's just so much.
Well, let's talk about the deep fake part. First, let's have this. I want to start off with, Ursula, I've never, in my family, amongst my friends, I've never had a situation where someone was the victim of a deep fake video. Do you know of anyone that has been?
No, but I have seen those deep fake videos that are very, very realistic, very hard. I mean, who was it who was just telling me that only need 5 seconds of my voice and you can create something that
was
would
me.
be
Would
be very believable.
Yeah, and so the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't think that we are really ready for this, and I got to give love to the cybersecurity specialist who actually I work out with at the gym in the morning times, and was telling me that this is a real big problem and it's starting to get more prevalent, and how it is hard. Like he said, people become devastated when these videos get out there. And he was explaining to me, like I was saying, how easy it is. So there are apps right now. Matter of fact, even on your phone, I didn't even know that there were apps on our phone right now. And then there's the ones that are underground, but they have apps where, Ursula, I can stand here next to you. All I need is about 10 seconds of your voice. I can take that voice. I now have your voice. That's all I need to do. I can call your sons. I can call your family. I can call them if I have their phone numbers, and I can say things to them where they would just not question whether or not it was you. And so one of the things that he said, and I wanted to just get this out there, he said, password your life. And that includes absolutely everything. If you think it can happen, yes, it can happen. And what he means by password your life, he says there should be everything you do should almost require a password. You go to the bank, even though the bank people, they know you. They know you've been coming there for 20 plus years. They come to the bank, they know you, right? There should be a password in some type of exchange. Yeah, they see your ID, they see all those things, but there still needs to be a password. Password your life.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. But here, I guess when I said if even a fraction of this is true, and it sounds like this is someone who had been with the department for a long time, sounds very credible, has evidence to back it up. I'm going to ask, how does this happen for over a decade and people are silent? How in this day and age does some crap like this happen and there aren't enough people who say that's wrong?
I think we talked about this last week. And what we talked about is usually the person that comes out to talk about the abuse, talk about being a victim, usually the company gets rid of them. And then later, after the fact, then they try to look into it, and then they come up with different classes or things that you should all take. Ursula, the reason why this is still happening today, because it's always happened. Now, I don't want to say good old boy because that might trigger.
It's coming up on our text messages.
If I say good old boy, that might trigger some things. But this has always been the case. There's always been a situation where there may be an alleged drunk driving incident where the wife is allowed to come and pick up the husband and take him away from the scene.
Yeah.
There's always a good old boy network that exists. We're just today years old that technology is now exposing those things.
Or the other thing that's exposing is a $30 million claim, which is going to end up costing the citizens of Whatcom County a hefty penny. If this was allowed to truly happen under the
do officers have
leadership of this particular sheriff.
Do officers have qualified immunity?
Yes, they do. So, so this is going to probably end up being a major payout. And but even more importantly, we can't keep having these things happen and others not do the right thing.
I think people are more upset about someone using SNAP benefits to buy potato chips than they are of having to have taxpayer payouts to settle these things. It is ingrained in us. That's what we do. We sit around, all of these allegations, these things happen in the payout, and we taxpayers are used to it. We don't complain about that.
Well, we do.
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Okay, coming up, we'll talk about Move Over Lost.
Move over. Move. Get out the way. Oh, Gee Ursula.
Saluting the bravest among us, the men and women who've served our country's armed forces. across the Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. Your selflessness and sacrifice are why we remain the land of the free because of the brave. Happy Veterans Day from KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because it'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
Are you kidding me? Another touchdown! Seahawks!
Another dominant performance. Winners of 4 in a row.
What a game. Come on now. Touchdown! Seahawks! And guess who? Jackson, Smith, and Jigba.
What we're building here, we all feel like we have something special.
Mike McDonald walked into Lumen Field yesterday and said, "Let me get my belt."
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, the home of the Seahawks.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Millions of Americans use credit cards to purchase goods every day. The Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates put the secure transactions you rely on at risk, leaving you vulnerable to hackers and foreign cybercriminals that want your data. Hackers win. You lose. Guard your card before it's too late. Tell Congress your data security is not for sale and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, "Buy low, sell high." There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Reutin, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
If you've ever shopped for a car, you know the difference between a dealership that treats you like a transaction and one that treats you like someone who is valued. Carter Subaru is the only place where I have always felt taken care of, and that is why I am a repeat customer. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership, and they have the state's largest selection. So if you've been thinking about upgrading, now is definitely the time. You can get the 2025 Crosstrek at just 1.9% financing for 72 months. And right now is one of my favorite times of the year, the Subaru Share the Love event. For every new Subaru purchase, Subaru will donate $250 to one of a number of charities, and one of them is a hometown favorite, Paws. So you're not just buying a great car, you're also doing a little good at the same time. If you want a dealership that actually listens to you, treats you with respect, and makes the whole process feel so easy, go see my friends at Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard, or start at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 11/30/25.
Hey, Brock Heward here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Search in the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Ceremonies across the U.S. on this Veterans Day. That one at Arlington National Ceremony. One gets underway in Seattle in half an hour at Evergreen Washelli Cemetery. On the east side, Sunset Hills Memorial Park hosts a ceremony marking the Vietnam War's 50th anniversary. CBS's Charlie Dackeda went to a gathering of veterans to hear how they are being affected by the government shutdown.
The amount of government programs that they rely on a monthly, daily, weekly basis that are currently out of their reach. And somebody there mentioned active service members. That, too, has had an impact. We are waiting for the next paycheck, which is supposed to be November 15th. To put it lightly, they've been tightening their belts for the past 2 months.
Some are relying on food banks. A bill to end the government shutdown is heading to the House after finally passing the Senate. 7 Democrats and an independent crossed party lines after Senate Republicans promised to consider extending health care tax credits next month. But there's no guarantee Republicans in the House will do that. Flight restrictions at the nation's airports rose to 6% today as air traffic controllers continue to call in sick rather than work without pay during the shutdown. The latest from KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lombie-Bow.
Phyllis Smith and her husband, John, they're headed out for a family vacation. It's not all going as planned.
Some of our family members actually canceled because they have small children and they didn't want to deal with it.
The FAA started cutting flights last Friday. Aviation analyst John Nance says even when the government reopens, the problems are far from fixed.
It's going to take time. Airplanes and crews are going to be in the wrong place. We're going to have to reconstruct many of the schedules for the airlines.
Holiday travel could be a nightmare.
For the first time in the Seattle mayoral race, incumbent Bruce Harrell is behind the latest ballot count, putting challenger Katie Wilson up by 91 points. When all the votes are counted, there may well be a recount. Republican strategist Randy Pepple tells KIRO News Radio.
Certification isn't until November 25th, so you could be waiting up until the Tuesday before Thanksgiving for the final word.
The latest ballot tally will be released at 4 this afternoon. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 534 points, NASDAQ down 61. KIRO News Radio traffic. A disabled vehicle's blocking a lane on I-5 northbound near Seneca Street. You're backed up now to South Seattle, and you're slow for some reason northbound through the 5 curve. But overall, this is not a significant impact on travel time because volumes are so low because of the holiday. Travel times Everett to Seattle, 25 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 20. Renton to Bellevue, 16. And your lake bridges are wide open. Traffic brought to you by AAA. AAA Washington membership unlocks epic roadside rescues, hundreds of local perks and discounts, travel and insurance expertise, and more. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy today with highs in the mid-50s. It's 52 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. I was waiting for the climax of that tune. Like, it's kind of building up there.
Can't really play that.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
You could say it. I got a dump button.
Yeah. That's for Imani and Nikki out there.
By the way, we like to call that the drop.
Okay. But, Sully, you're here to talk to us about move over.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Washington's law. There are 50 states have a slow down, move over law. But it turns out that drivers don't really kind of understand it, which seems odd to me because the title is slow down, move over.
How much clearer could you get?
Well, it turns out that people think that might mean slow down and move over, yet the law requires you to do both. The reason I say that is AAA just did a study of 12,000 drivers across the country, and only about 65% of them realized that I had to do both, and the rest of them weren't doing anything. They were not slowing down or moving over. And if you don't know what this means, is if you're on the freeway or anywhere, you're driving down, you see flashing lights ahead of you, say on the right-hand side of the road, left-hand side of the road, they've got somebody pulled over, there's something going on, there's construction, tow truck there recovering a vehicle. Under Washington state law, you have to move over and slow down at least 10 miles an hour underneath the posted speed limit. So if you're on the freeway, that could be a sizable reduction, say if you're on Eastern Washington I-90. So you're supposed you slow down and you move over. In a lot of cases, most people just maybe move over, they don't slow down. In a case like if you're in Seattle and you can't do both, like in a lot of cases, you might not be able to move over right away. It's okay, just slow way down. So AAA is just trying to remind everybody it's a state law. It's a state law in all 50 states, and it requires you to do both because more than 40 tow truck operators were killed last year in the country by people, running into them on the side of the road. And we've had several tow truck drivers killed here in the last couple of years as well who are recovering vehicles. And it's one of the reasons why you might notice that now tow trucks in Washington state have blue lights. You may not have noticed that, but they added blue lights. The legislature allowed them to do that a couple of years ago because the reason is most people will stop for a blue light, but they may not stop for an orange light or something else. And so you're even seeing the DOT now using green lights on some of their DOT vehicles. You'll see that a lot more this winter as we go over the mountains. A lot of the plow trucks alternate now yellow and green because they're trying to get a visual cue because they're just trying to make it safer out on the road. So it sounds like we're not doing as good a job as we could be doing out there on the road.
Well, first of all, tell AAA to quit making their response times 2.5 hours. That's just ridiculous, but it has nothing to do with you.
It can be difficult, especially trying to get around if you're trying to get help during a rush hour.
So if you're on the freeway, I want to go into that because, well, first, I always thought like, yes, you kind of get over and yes, slow down. I don't know. It's always been ingrained in me, right? But if you're on the freeway, obviously it's 60-something miles an hour, and how far should you get over? Is it just one lane out of the way? I just want to be clear on that one.
It requires you one lane.
Okay.
About 200, 300 feet on either side of what you're pulling over. And I want to be clear, we had a lot of people on the text line confusing this with the move right for emergency vehicles. These are two different things. So if you have a fire truck or police coming up behind you, we have a separate law that requires you to move to the right to get out of the way.
Okay.
This is for people on the side of the road or a road is blocked where they're recovering vehicles and things. So there are two different laws that are kind of similar. Both require you to get over a lane when you can safely do so. So yeah, this is different than if someone's rolling up behind you and you need to get over for, say, a police or a fire vehicle. This is for someone's broken down on the side of the road, tow trucks and things like that, construction. So if you see any flashing light on the side of the road now, you need to get over and you need to slow down.
Okay.
Well, it's always appreciated when you give us that refresher. And again, if you are not doing that, what kind of penalties?
Well, there's a $214 fine for not doing it. Now, as we say with a lot of things, there isn't a lot of enforcement on this. It's down the food chain of things they enforce. But they do, and they can. But let's face it, they've got a lot of other things that are a little higher on the priority list with aggressive driving, things like that, DUI, other stuff. I mean, that's why we complain there's no emphasis on HOV violations, which can incite other people to do bad things behind the wheel when they see it. But yeah, it can be a $214 ticket.
I'm glad you brought this up because I'll be honest with you, I don't think I really knew this, what you're talking about. Like I knew it for, fire trucks and police officers, but tow trucks, I don't think I really thought about that.
They extended that's been new in the legislature. They've been slowly but surely adding who you need to get over for. And it's basically anything with a flashing light now. What's interesting, the only people not protected by this law is us. If we're pulled over on the side of the road and we're waiting for help from that AAA for that 2.5 hours, it doesn't apply to us. And so AAA is trying to push that as well. Now, I drive in Montana a lot, and I notice that over there, people get over when there's something on the right shoulder. That's something they do. I'm not sure if their law requires it, but yeah, our law in Washington State doesn't require. If you guys are pulled over on the side of the road and you're waiting for a tow, technically, by law, you don't have to get over. You should. Yeah. It's the safe thing to do.
I was going to say, you ever try and change a tire on the freeway?
It's scary as hell. I mean, cars go by so fast. But yeah, that's funny. That's the one.
Yeah, I already shared this morning on our meeting that if I need to replace a tire or if one of my tires blows, I definitely have to wait for AAA. It's not going to be me trying to, or I'm going to have to wait for some very kind person to come help me.
Come on, you're not grabbing the jack and going to town in your Subaru?
No.
Come on.
But so far, knock on wood, hasn't happened. Okay, just in the few minutes that we have left, I'm curious, what do you think the top 2 problems on the roads are today in our state, this side of our state?
Well, it's going to be hard for me to define this, but selfishness is always number one. People drive as if their route, their goal, their trip is better and more important than anybody else's.
Because they're late.
Yeah, because screw the rest of them. I got to go where I got to go. And that leads to lack of merging etiquette. People who merge like crazy, like go over bunch of lanes without even looking, going without signaling, and left lane camping. All of those things go under the umbrella of selfishness. And I think that's a lot of it. They think you're better than everybody else. And that's why I've said for years is before you do that bonehead move because you're running behind or imagine that's your grandmother driving the car or your brother or your sister or your kid driving that car. And would you pull that nonsense in front of them or next to them on the freeway at 70 miles an hour? Of course you wouldn't.
What do you think it is, G? Like number one?
No, I think Sully nailed it.
Yeah.
No, you nailed it. It's selfish drivers, and that selfishness is because I always say this: you're late. Like this is the reason why you're so upset. People that are late are upset,
or just impatient
on the road. You're impatient because you're late. You're upset at the airport because you're late. You know what I mean? If you are on time, then you already know. Like, for an example, if I leave right now, am I going to be shocked that there's traffic leaving Seattle to Tacoma? No.
You shouldn't be.
Right?
You do this every day.
Every single day. Guess what, everybody? It's going to be traffic.
Or in bumper to bumper, we see it every day. You know, that one guy that's riding the bumper, one lane over, one lane back, one lane up, one lane, trying to Jenga their way or Tetris their way, all to move a millisecond ahead in their overall traffic. I don't understand that at all. I don't get it. But yeah, I think selfishness leads to a lot of bad behavior behind the wheel.
All right,
text us. Thank you, Sully.
Go figure out your 17 days before the end of the year.
Yeah, I just realized I have 17 days of vacation. I have only taken 6 days off this year.
Oh.
Yeah. Go figure that out, Sully.
My goodness.
I don't think I'm getting them back.
Guess what?
You can hook me up, Chris.
Guess what?
Hey, Ted Beaner, are you available?
Guess what? You can only hold over 1 week.
I know. Well, used it and lost it.
Yeah.
That's because I just love you guys so much I don't take time off.
Such a hard worker.
Actually, to be honest, it's because Tommy didn't have football and Holly and I had no idea what to do with ourselves this year.
Hey, coming up next, Scenarios, Gee Ursula.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good to Go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good to Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you. because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. Let's get into scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I love theater, but after graduating, it wouldn't pay my bills, so I got a better job. I still do community theater, and most of my friends are too. 3 months ago, I started dating a man who is not into it at all. Actually, it's refreshing and it's exciting, and he is fine with my weird weekend performing schedule. But there's a problem he isn't okay with. So my former fiance is also in theater, and a play is coming up in which we were both given leading roles. My boyfriend approved until I told him that in the leading roles there are a couple intimate makeout scenes. I told him that it was just acting and that I separate stage from real life. It has been 18 months since my fiance and I split, and we have learned to be professional and have even become good friends. Regardless, my boyfriend is telling me that if we have a future, that I need to give up this role. He says it's just community theater. Would you give in to this ultimatum or see this as a sign that you can't both love the theater and someone who doesn't understand it? 888-973-5476 is the text line. Ursula, up to bat first.
Okay, so a couple of things. One is, how important is this particular role? Is it more important than your relationship with your boyfriend, who sounds like he has a very jealous streak? And I don't know that I would feel that comfortable with my husband or boyfriend's or girlfriend's fiance being the lead in that. That said, it is just a role. There are ways to show these quote unquote intimate scenes in community theater without actually having to, do anything really physical. So he might be just overreacting to this particular thing. I think you need to just ask yourself, how important is this role? Is it more important than I don't know if he's jealous in other areas or if this is just one thing.
Well, I think my first answer is I don't know anything about theater, and it says he doesn't know anything about theater either. So I think it is hard for people like us to understand how to separate being professional and intimacy really in real life. But on one hand, I know that someone would say, yes, G, it's only stage stuff. This is just professional acting. But then I look on social media and I see all the time about how people leave their husbands or people leave their wife because they met on the set. Let's talk to Jennifer Aniston about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Right?
And how that turned into a real relationship.
So I'm confused. Or I'm confused, I've known some people, excuse me, I got to tell y'all the truth, but I've known some people that have dated strippers, and they were able to separate, them being a stripper and then, and then being with them. So I don't know. I don't know anything.
Yeah. I think there can be a separation, but he has told you outright that he supports your community theater. Just this one particular role is not something he's comfortable with. And kudos to him for expressing that. Now you need to decide how important is that role. Are there going to be other roles that you can do?
Sounds like she's still hanging out with the theater people too.
This is an acceptable level of jealousy. That is not in any way a red flag. I mean, by the way, there's a long history of stars who met while they were working on a film, got together, broke up, and then got back together again because they worked on another film together. I think this happened 3 times with Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor, by the way. His mistake was making an ultimatum. What he should have said was, this makes me highly uncomfortable. I'm not okay with it, but I need you to decide what you want to do. You should have bowed out. This is community theater. You're not getting paid for it. Seriously? Yeah. You want to take a role making out with your ex-fiance And that never entered your mind it could be a problem with your current boyfriend? What's wrong with you?
Well, there also could be the possibility that she likes the idea of making her current boyfriend a little jealous.
Oh, women wouldn't do that.
Well, some do.
Women would never do that.
Dan in Everett says maybe he should meet the actors that she would be acting with. That's another thing, too.
Well, here's my thing. Like I said, I don't, because I know there's people that do theater that listening, and you guys might take what I'm saying wrong, but considering that was her fiance at one point, is it fair to say that when they do these roles together, that people in the crowd will say, oh my goodness, if I didn't know any better, I would think that thing is real. That intimate setting's real.
Exactly. Mike in Portland says, spoiler alert, this woman is going to be getting back together with her ex. Yep.
Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth, they also did the same thing. Got together, broke up, got back together on set. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez also did that.
Okay, Brady, I haven't talked to you all today. And we always love to hear from you. Brady's in for Nick today. Brady, what's your thoughts on this, brother?
I mean, no matter what, it's an ex-fiance, and that's already right there just troubling. Second of all, you're not getting paid for it, so you're not even bringing anything in for my sacrifice of watching this. And three, he's still, I mean, you said in the story that they're still in the same friend group. Why are you friends with your ex-fiance?
Because of the theater.
I don't care. Move cities. Go to a different one.
Okay, just to back people who did community theater, my sister being one of them, it is kind of a big deal for folks when they get a role, if you're getting the leading role, etc. It's not just, it's just community theater, and that's not a big deal.
If you're getting a leading role, that means that you're eminently qualified and could find another role quite easily.
Yes.
Especially within that particular production.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think it's possible to, like, make out with someone acting and not feel something real physically.
That part I wouldn't agree with. I think that it is possible.
You know,
I'm sorry for your exes.
I just want to say we're starting to get a lot of tell the jealous boyfriend to go packing. I'm on the side with the boyfriend here. All right, Brady said we got to go. I don't want Brady mad at me. We got the 11 o'clock hour coming up next. I'm going to be on third base. We got agree to disagree to happen at 11:30. But at 11 o'clock, we will be talking about Veterans Day. But more importantly, a golf course getting special treatment when it comes to water.
And we'll talk to someone with King County Elections about ballots.
That's right. Well, we'll do all that next. Gee Ursula.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore, and every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 17028440, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. One radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. There is a deal to end the government shutdown, and that could happen within days. But at the nation's airports, more delays, more cancellations, and more frustration. Chris Van Cleve reports.
Airlines began canceling now 6% of flights to 40 of the nation's busiest airports to respond to a FAA order to try to bring down the workload for controllers. That 6% number will grow to 8% on Thursday, hitting 10% on Friday.
That could be a day that a final deal is in place. Caitlin Huey-Burns has more from Capitol Hill.
Well, the House is making their way back to Washington. They've been out for the past 7 weeks. They are coming back. House Speaker Mike Johnson said, look, everybody should get back as soon as possible because of all the flight delays and chaos at the airports that's been caused because of this shutdown. They are expected to start voting on this tomorrow. So we could see this signed into law if everything goes according to plan, everything goes well for Republicans, and signed by the president tomorrow night.
President Trump was at Arlington National Cemetery today for Veterans Day.
We got to have a victory day. Nobody even talked about it in our country. But from now on, we're going to be celebrating Victory Day for World War I, for World War II, and frankly, for everything else.
A winter-like blast of cold has the South in a deep freeze. Meteorologist Jessica Birch is tracking the system.
Some of these record-breaking numbers, this polar air mass that swept in from the north, brought in daytime highs well below average, anywhere from places like Chicago, stretched all the way down into the state of Florida. It was just yesterday we broke records, 30s and 40s, stretching all the way down into places like Alabama and Georgia. And we're seeing a repeat of that again today with more record-breaking numbers right around the corner.
Temperatures are expected to rise by the end of the week. ByHeart, which makes organic infant formula, is recalling all of its products sold throughout the U.S. due to a growing outbreak of infant botulism. 15 infants in 12 states have gotten sick. Jim Ursula reports on a growing number of whooping cough cases.
More than 3,500 pertussis, or whooping cough cases, have been reported in Texas so far this year. That's an 11-year high. The uptick in whooping cough, which is especially contagious in children, has coincided with the decline in vaccination rates for the illness. According to disease experts who urge the best way to control the spread is to get vaccinated.
Actress Sally Kirkland has died. She appeared in numerous roles, from The Sting to Anna and The Way We Were. She was 84 years old. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed today. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Shake-up in the Seattle mayor's race. The story coming up at first. KIRO Newsradio traffic. No significant blocking issues. Remember, 2 lanes on State Route 167 northbound are closed near the city of Pacific for repairs after a bridge strike in September. Overall, volumes are low due to the Veterans Day holiday, so your travel times are pretty darn good. Everett to Seattle, 27 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 22. Renton to Bellevue, 16. And your lake bridges are wide open. Traffic brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Country's rising star Chase Matthew hits the Emerald Queen Casino December 7th. The Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The family of a trucker, an innocent driver killed during a Lakewood police chase, is now suing the city. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman spoke with the family's attorney.
A wild police chase in the South Sound.
They just got hit by a semi.
Ends in tragedy.
An innocent father and husband ended up dead.
57-year-old Bodon Vetrov was hit by 3 teen suspects running away from police in a stolen Kia. Those teens were arrested, but Vetrov's family believes no one has been held accountable in his death. Mark Lindquist, who is representing the Vetrov family, argues not only is Lakewood Police responsible, those officers also violated department and state law.
The family is suing for $28 million. Court documents show a man was shot in Seattle Friday after he told another passenger on a Metro bus to stop smoking fentanyl. They kept arguing as they got off the bus near 3rd and Pike, and the victim was shot in the leg. Police are still searching for the shooter. It's the season for holiday deliveries and porch pirates. Police say thieves often strike between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. when no one's home. Shopper Laura Lucht tells KIRO 7 TV she's hoping to avoid the problem altogether.
So I'm actually shifting my shopping patterns away from online shopping, where it's the impersonal shipping it to me, and hoping that package is where it needs to be when I get home.
Neighbors are also installing doorbell cameras, using secure lockers, and watching out for each other's deliveries. You're paying 14% more to eat out in Washington state than what you'd pay in any other part of the country. The Washington Hospitality Association says restaurants blame state and local regulations. For instance, in Washington, employers can't count tips as part of a worker's wages. Overhead also plays a role, with restaurants paying higher than average rates for utilities and rent. Seattle mayoral candidate Katie Wilson has surged ahead of incumbent Bruce Harrell as the latest election ballots are counted. She holds a 91-vote lead. Wilson tells KIRO News Radio's John Curley.
It's been rough, the tension, just waiting for the next ballot drop. But I think with today's drop, I'm feeling real good.
Incumbent Bruce Harrell's campaign says they're focusing on making sure every vote is counted. The next ballot drop happens at 4 p.m. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy today with highs in the mid-50s. It is 52 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, November 11th. Happy Veterans Day to all active military and to our veterans that are listening to the show and everywhere else. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Coming up at 11:30 when we agree to disagree, did you hear about all those Wendy's closing?
I did.
Do you remember when Wendy's was the it burger? What on earth happened?
Only place I dip my fries into the Frosty.
Okay, text us 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. I always love asking if it's not Wendy's, who has the best burgers? Text us that too, and we will share some of your thoughts. But let's get into our top stories.
Top stories at 11
on the Gee and Ursula Show.
And as you've been hearing, challenger Katie Wilson has now inched ahead of Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell by just 91 votes. And with the margins this tiny, the question everyone is asking is, are we heading for a recount? Another question is, when will ballot counting finally be done? To help us with those answers is Haley Watkins with King County Elections. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's get right to it because a lot of people are complaining. Why is it taking so long?
People.
In vote by mail elections, it always takes time to get through, especially those late voted election night ballots that come in through drop boxes. In this election, we actually had more ballots returned on election day to drop boxes in one single day than we've seen in the last 5 years, over 250,000 back in drop boxes on one day. And it takes time to get through those accurately, securely, to verify that they were voted by the intended voter, to verify their signature, get that ballot open and send it through the tabulation machine. Of course, folks are only paying this much attention this late when things are tight as well.
No, that's a good point. People, by the way. I'm the one that was complaining. Now, Haley, how come? Look here. I know you're not supposed to work on the weekends, and I know nobody's working today because it's Veterans Day. But, this is sometimes you got to do some extra credit and stuff on the weekend. How come they didn't just work on the weekend and get this counted?
Our full team was working the entire weekend before Election Day.
Okay.
We worked the full week, that full weekend, and then worked long hours of election week. For accuracy's sake, it's important for folks to take a little break.
Mm-hmm.
I will say we are back at work processing today. We are going to be updating results again today, so we are not taking the holiday.
Okay.
We are back at it today.
How long would it? So, how many left to count for the mayoral race? 8,000? What'd they say?
In the city of Seattle, we have about 6,400 accepted ballots. So those are ballots that have been through signature verification and their signature is good to go and be counted. There are an additional 1,700 outstanding signature challenges where we need to hear back from those voters. They need to fill out a simple form or give us some identifying information to make sure it was them who voted their ballot. They can respond to that by November 24th to get their ballot counted in this race.
Now, Haley, I'm going to try to stick to this idea of why it is taking so long, because that's what we keep hearing over and over again. And I heard your answer. Given what you know now, would you consider doing it differently next time around and continuing to do the count over the weekend so that knowing that there are so many people who vote late, that we aren't stretching it out weeks and weeks?
I am not the sole decision maker when it comes to making that decision. We have to take a look around, see how our team is doing, see how things are flowing, and make a case-by-case decision in every election. Ultimately, for this one, we decided to take the weekend off and then work Veterans Day. In other elections, we've decided to work the election and then take Veterans Day. So it just depends on how folks are doing, what that week looked like those 2 weeks before, how many folks were working that weekend before, because of course we were open at vote centers, holding accessible voting events, out collecting ballots from drop boxes that weekend before. So it is all those same folks who are working all the way through, and it's important that we make sure.
Haley, it's an odd year, so I'm sure when it's all said and done, as far as King County, how does it compare to other odd years? You guys breaking records or what?
Well, we did see some of the highest voter turnout in an odd year election that we've seen in the last decade. It's the second highest voter turnout in an odd year election in the last 10 years, which is incredible. We received just about 660,000 ballots back. We'll certify this election on November 25th. So we do have a ways to go, but so far so good, and we're going to keep plugging along.
Okay, before the election, we were told, and it came as a surprise to us, that we were told that people should not be mailing in their ballots if they wanted to make sure that they would get counted. Do you know how many ballots are not going to be counted because they are postmarked too late?
Yes, and those numbers for this election are, again, right in line with what we've seen from previous elections. So far, we have just over 2,800 ballots that have arrived back to us with a too late postmark. Again, that's out of 660,000 ballots received. About 2,800 have a too late postmark. We will continue to receive ballots through the mail all the way until November 24th. And of course, we certify on the 25th. So those numbers will creep up a little bit, but those are going to be small numbers at this point.
And when you say they will continue to be counted, again, when are we talking about a potential recount?
So nothing is triggered for a recount until we certify the election on November 25th. So if it remains this close, for example, on November 25th, we'd be headed to a automatic recount. But nothing is triggered until we get to that certification date. So if a recount were to happen, that would be happening likely that week after Thanksgiving.
Haley Watkins with King County Elections. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Haley. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And we have a little bit of a delay because we also have her on video. So if you're wondering, like, what is the deal with that? It's technology that's still being worked out.
What I just want to say, if Haley and those folks, Haley's good at her job. Like, she comes on here, she gets right to the point, and it's clear, right? You get all the answers, and I was actually shocked. I didn't get a chance to ask the last part. I was getting like, what year was number one as far in the last 10 years? What odd year did the best? But she said this is second out of the last 10 years as far as voter turnout. So.
The problem with it, and you correctly said, it takes too long, and people get frustrated. And not only just frustrated, but people also start to lose faith in the system.
They do.
And start thinking, oh, there's going to be shenanigans, and it's this close. And remember the Dino Rossi and Christine Gregoire race. It's and depending how the outcome is, in this case, it is going to be as close as I can remember any Seattle mayoral race.
Yeah, 2,800 ballots.
That's just crazy.
Got that too late.
Yeah, and again, if it ends up being just a handful of votes, if it does go to a recount and it's a handful of votes that are different, I don't ever want to hear anyone ever say my vote does not count.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be something if it comes down to where it's less than 100 votes and you were one of the people who got their vote in too late?
I think there's a missing piece in this because it's impossible to tell whether a late postmark ballot, whether that was the fault of the post office or if somebody put it in their mailbox like after 4 p.m. on election day and wasn't getting picked up. I think there needs to be a process to contact those people and ask them, when did you submit your ballot? Because if we're going to have a mail-in voting system and people can't mail in their ballots within a week of the election to get them counted, that is a huge problem.
That is a problem.
Yeah, but how real quick.
You think anyone's going to be truthful? Like, oh, when did you get that in?
But here's what I mean,
it's worth the survey sample at least to ask.
You know better, though. Right, you know then to, like, for example, here at KIRO, we do mail where it goes out. We drop it off at the desk. I'm not dropping my ballot off at the desk up front on Tuesday. Oh, if it's on a Tuesday, all bets are off. It's going right to the box.
But even the ballots returned to a post office, handed to a postal worker, you can't guarantee they're postmarking it unless you see it happen.
I said, on a Tuesday, I'm going to the box if I wait that long. If I want to do the mail situation, then, I'm going to vote earlier.
Now, speaking of votes, the city of Ruston, their city council just voted.
What'd they vote on?
And they basically said it's a night at midnight. They voted 4-1 to make their temporary ban on alcohol sales after midnight permanent. So after 12, no more booze in Ruston, and any business that does serve alcohol has to close its doors by 1 a.m. And if they don't, they could actually face a misdemeanor. So this has been a trial this has been in place already in Ruston, one of your favorite places, I might add. And it was supposed to expire next week, this trial run, but the council members moved quickly. They skipped their usual first reading. They went straight to adopting this permanent ban. There was only one member who voted against it. Business owners, many of them are not exactly thrilled. The bars and restaurants say this cuts right into their late night rush, especially on weekends, and they're worried that it's going to push customers to other cities and drain Ruston's already small nightlife. Yeah. Do they have a nightlife in Ruston?
No. Like, nobody goes to, I mean, if anything, you're going to leave Ruston and you're going to head up to 6th Ave. You know, I was thinking about this because I'm sure that that's number one. Like, right, businesses are like, look, that cuts into our profits. That's a long time of not selling alcohol during that time. How many things are happening right now in our country that we choose money over what's right? And I'm not, by the way, I'm not taking a shot at these restaurants because it takes a lot to stay in business. I totally understand that, right? But a lot of decisions, we continue to do things because, hey, it's money, right? Like cigarette advertising for a while, money. Alcohol advertisement, money. Other advertisements, money.
Okay, wait. I'm following. Yeah, I am. I'm trying to follow your thing because I actually agree with the business owners and the bars. Of course, I don't live in Ruston. No.
But you don't drink. You don't drink.
And I don't
though.
even drink. But
so why do you agree with them?
I would understand that because I'm a night owl, and in the time when I used to go out for fun, you don't get going until 10 or 11. Then you got to cut off at midnight.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. I remember being that person that would go out at 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I remember those times.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. People that still have the energy to start going out at 10 and 11, yeah, they don't need to be out past a certain time. See,
wait, but you say that now as someone who's on the other side of it.
Yes. And I'm on the other side, and I've experienced it. It's not something I've read about. It's something that I have experienced.
Nothing that happens after midnight is what you're saying.
No, it doesn't. And by the way, if we're going about Ruston, listen, I have never had anybody says, hey, let's meet at this bar in Ruston at this time. That doesn't happen. Ruston doesn't really even have a nightlife. You go get some food.
Ruston's not the best example because it's a tiny, beautiful waterfront town.
What are you talking about, dude? Like, people who prefer to go to places like Bellevue or whatever to have a drink. Like Ruston, I'm sure there are plenty of people in the industry, like I was when I was cooking, who get off work from the kitchen, front of the house, whatever. It's midnight. Go get yourself a drink at the local. I think this is a blue collar versus new condo owner issue because you basically have a couple of people who repeatedly complained about restaurants that served alcohol and said it caused a noise complaint. There's been no data that shows that any noise complaints have been reduced or any other legal issues. You got brand new condo owners who want to come into a place that has traditionally had a blue collar feel to it. The nice Ruston is a very, very recent creation. It was not always that way. And so if you have all the old locals that like going to their old local watering hole, and then the new condo owners come in and say, y'all are too loud. We need to close down the businesses at midnight. That's ridiculous.
Okay. You said. I'll tell you what I know. There's one thing to read about these topics right here. It's another thing to literally experience it and actually live down in that area and be around that part. So I'm just going to simply say, right, there is that culture that's not the culture that you think that it is. It's very simplistic down there, and it makes absolute sense to cut things down at 12 o'clock. Ruston going to be okay. The business owners that are there, you're going to be okay. You're going to be just fine.
Including the one that has their business cut by 20% and it's for sale.
Yeah. I think some folks are going to be like, I'm out.
Yeah. Again, let me... As someone who lives down there, you know what I mean? Like, I'm
someone
not
who lives and works in Seattle.
I'm not going to sit here and discuss this as a conversation by something that's being read.
Don't get me even started when I say, as someone who lives in Seattle
and works.
Let's talk about Jamie Dimon seems to get himself in the news a lot. Have you noticed that? He's the longtime CEO of JP Morgan Chase. And so now he's saying the future of work is going to look very different. And of course, it's because of AI. And he's urging people to stop fighting that reality and start embracing it. So he had this new interview with Bloomberg TV, and he said artificial intelligence isn't just another tech trend. He calls it a living, breathing thing that is already transforming how companies operate. And in his view, that shift should actually help workers, not hurt them. He says the next generation could see if you like this, radically shorter work weeks, something like 3 or 3.5 days, because AI will take over many routine tasks. He even predicts that today's kids could live longer, healthier lives thanks to medical breakthroughs powered by AI. I don't doubt that one, actually. I think that's very real. But he also warns that the people who do best in this new world are the ones who adapt early. And his message is basically, do not run from AI, learn it. He says companies and workers who figure out how to use these tools will be the ones who stay competitive, and they will reap the benefits of higher productivity. What do you think?
Well, I'm someone that has been following Jamie Dimon for a long time, right? Jamie Dimon is like, that dude knows his stuff. The problem that some people might have with Jamie Dimon is the family member that has no filter. Jamie Dimon is the family member that has no bedside manner. He doesn't know how to sugarcoat it. So when he says things, people get a little bit triggered. He's totally right.
Yeah.
We are heading into a time where we're going to get more. A lot of the politicians that are being like the 30-something-year-olds and everything, they bout that work from home. They are about that. So while that is good and bad, depending on who you think it is, well, it's good for work-life balance, if you will. Also bad for like potential in cuts. So when Jamie Dimon talks about that, embracing AI, speaking of that, I want to ask, we keep talking about AI. We keep talking about this new world that we're coming into. Anybody listening, are you doing something different today than you did yesterday? That's the question. Mm-hmm. And if your answer is no, G, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing now. Okay. Good luck. Yeah.
That's not going to work for the next generation. Sure.
It's not. It's not. Now, if you almost on that way out, you got about 10, I'm going to say you got about 10 years, you could probably hold on a little bit. But
even then, I challenge you. Embrace it. Recognizing, I know you.
Oh, I'm embracing it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm embracing it. All right, what we got next? Oh, shoot. Agree to disagree. Let's do that next. Gee Ursula.
You've been wiring pounds to a second wife in London.
It's not what it looks like.
And here she is now.
Sure it isn't.
Hello, darling.
Elizabeth?
Did you know our husband used a bank instead of Wise to send you money?
What an imbecile. Well,
see, even your secret wife knows that banks are slow and hide fees in overseas transfers.
Those cheaters.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. They're faster and they don't hide fees.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
If you or someone you know, maybe a friend or a loved one, were involved in an incident last weekend, a weekend before with Halloween weekend, you are not alone. Halloween, unfortunately, is one of the highest days for DUI nationally. So reach out to DUI Heroes and speak to Jonathan and his team. They are DUI defense specialists handling cases all over the state of Washington. 1-800-DUI-HERO or DUIHeroes.com. DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist.
Looking for a high school that nurtures both the mind and spirit? Archbishop Murphy High School is where academic excellence meets faith-based education. With a 100% graduation rate and a college prep program designed to challenge and inspire, our students are prepared for whatever the future holds. But it's more than just academics. Archbishop Murphy's robust athletics, arts, and co-curricular activities ensure that every student finds their passion and thrives. Archbishop Murphy High School believes in educating the whole person. That's why we offer a vibrant campus life for students grow not only academically, but also spiritually, socially, and physically. Don't just take our word for it. See it for yourself. Schedule a visit and discover how Archbishop Murphy High School can help your students succeed. Visit am-hs.org. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy proudly supports Archbishop Murphy High School, where your story begins. am-hs.org.
Hey there, Don Reiling with Olympic Hot Tub. When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is so delightful. Heat up the season and gift yourself year-round wellness from Olympic. A soak in a saltwater hot spring spa is pure bliss, the perfect escape at the end of the day. Or warm body and soul in a Tilo sauna, your ideal retreat. Heck, you deserve both. Our Heat Up the Season savings end November 23rd. Learn more at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. 250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Care Partners Senior Living is growing. Amanda here. We are very excited to introduce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, and North Creek Bothell, bringing compassionate, quality care at an affordable price, closer to more of you. Visit carepartnersliving.com today.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
I'm pissed,
Frustrated air travelers. Flight restrictions at the nation's airports rose to 6% today as air traffic controllers continue to call in sick rather than work without pay during the government shutdown. 53 flights canceled, 45 delayed so far at SeaTac Airport, where this passenger tells KIRO 7 TV.
It's unacceptable, honestly. I think the government shutdown it's unbelievable.
A Senate bill to end the government shutdown is headed to the House now. CBS's Michael Wallace with the latest.
8 Democrats crossed the aisle last night to approve the Senate plan, which does not include the health care tax credit extensions Democrats had been holding out for. Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders.
What the fight was about was health care.
it was a loss.
The bill funds the government through January and reverses the layoffs enacted during the shutdown.
Republicans promise to take up the health care tax credits next month. Seattle mayoral candidate Katie Wilson now has a 91-vote lead over incumbent Bruce Harrell after the latest ballot count. The results of the next ballot tally is set to be released at 4 this afternoon. Republican strategist Randy Pepple tells KIRO Newsradio.
Both campaigns are going to be out there trying to find people who voted, but their ballot isn't being counted because of a signature problem or a verification problem. Those people could end up deciding this election.
If the two are separated by less than 2,000 votes, there will be a recount. Newly elected King County Executive Gurmai Zahalai says he plans to find out what the county needs by taking a firsthand look.
Spending the night shift in our King County jails, riding the metro buses. You will find me in our public health clinics, learning the issues that you are experiencing every day.
Zahalai is the first immigrant and first refugee to be elected King County Executive. He officially takes office November 25th. The 72nd Annual National Veterans Day observance at Arlington National Cemetery. Locally, volunteers today are placing thousands of flags at Evergreen Washelli Cemetery and hearing tributes from Joint Base Lewis McChord. On the east side, Sunset Hills Memorial Park hosts a ceremony marking the Vietnam War's 50th anniversary. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 542 points. NASDAQ is down 33. KIRO News Radio traffic. No major blocking problems right now. If you're heading to the mountains, Snoqualmie Pass is bare and mostly dry with no restrictions. Stevens Pass, bare and wet with no restrictions. Overall volumes are low due to the holiday. Travel times are looking outstanding. Everett to Seattle, 27 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 22. Renton to Bellevue, 16. Lake bridges are wide open. Traffic brought to you by the Seattle International Auto Show, presented by BECU at the Lumen Field Event Center, November 14th through the 16th, seattleautoshow.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today with highs in the mid-50s. It's 52 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. We sure appreciate you hanging out with us. It's time for us to agree to disagree. Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Oh, sad news for fans of square beef patties that has Dave Thomas rolling in his grave. About 300 Wendy's stores nationwide are going to be closing down, Gee. I got to ask you, does this generation not appreciate Wendy's? Is Wendy's completely overlooked in the fast food wars these days?
Yes, it is. And here's why. Because back when I was growing up, and by the way, sometimes I talk about stories that only Gen X and baby boomers can know what I'm going to say. In the 80s, Chef, there was this thing called Where's the Beef?
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you something.
Baby.
When that Where's the Beef commercial was out, we was all saying it. And we went to Wendy's. Wendy's was doing their thing. The burgers were good. The only place in the world where I dipped my fries into the chocolate frosty. And then all of a sudden, Ursula, Wendy's just wasn't there anymore. But I always loved their burgers. They were always good. Their fries were definitely needed the chocolate frosty. Their fries just weren't great. You know what I'm saying? But their burgers were good. And I used to love their tables. Remember their tables at Wendy's?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Wendy's has a special place in my heart because it was one of the first fast food restaurants where my sister worked, and we were still, new to this country.
She give you free food?
Pardon me?
She give you free food?
No, but
What?
Well, she also worked at Taco John's, and this is in Eugene, Oregon. There we would get free food, but they were a little tighter at the Wendy's. I don't remember the free food coming from there. However, I haven't been to Wendy's in such a long time because there are so many other options. Yeah. And it used to be kind of a cool thing to have the square burger, but who cares about that now?
Yeah, it was great. And if you guys remember, they used to have a salad bar at Wendy's. You know what I'm saying? Across the country.
Bars are not in anymore.
The thing is, you know what? We got a Gen Z that's right here. His name is Brady. Brady, I need to come to you. Do you and your friends, what do you guys eat for fast food? Because I never see you youngsters eating Wendy's, Burger King, and McDonald's. What are y'all eating?
I mean, we definitely McDonald's, definitely Taco Bell. I mean, I like Wendy's. I mean, there's not one directly near where I live, so that sucks. But, I mean, I love Wendy's. Get me a Baconator, and I'm happy all day long.
I mean, I think it was good.
Beef? Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef? You know, she eventually got fired by Wendy's because she started doing Pragos commercials and started insinuating that she found the beef in the Prego sauce.
What?
I just saw that on the
betrayal?
Why don't I know that story?
I just was looking up, where is the Wendy's woman?
But you know, Trucker Mad Dog makes a good point, and I think this is probably what Wendy's kind of messed up doing. Wendy's had a good chili. They did. Mm-hmm. They remember that. Yep. And sometimes, you ever notice that might be to your detriment when you're trying to maybe do too many things?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
need
saying?
to specialize in something.
Yeah.
So the Frosties.
Ooh, try the Frosties at Wendy's.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
Yeah.
I love those.
And what is it about the Frosty, though, that people will dip their...
I don't know.
You're not going to dip your fries into a McDonald's chocolate shake.
Sure won't.
No,
right?
it's too like watery. It's not good.
Yeah, but the thing about what separates McDonald's and Wendy's is McDonald's at one point arguably had the best thing going. For an example, my dad loved McDonald's coffee.
Oh.
McDonald's coffee is probably one of the most underrated coffees that are out there. Consistently, he loved McDonald's coffee. Number 2, McDonald's has the best fries. Number 3, McDonald's ice cream. Oh my goodness.
If you can find a machine that works.
Facts, big facts. and wait a minute. When you think of a Happy Meal, right now, if I say Happy Meal, every adult right now has some type of feeling, either as a child or as a parent. Happy Meal cornered the market.
You know, there's people on our text line bringing up something that happened. I want to fact check first because I don't remember this, but something that was found in the chili that kind of threw people off.
I don't know.
And made the chili not. Yeah. Anyway, look it up.
My sweeping statement. Wendy's is the most underrated burger fast food chain by far. The reason I don't ever go to Wendy's. There's one that's relatively close to me in Linwood. And every time I drive by, there is a line all the way around the drive-thru, at least like 10, 12 cars.
True.
So I'm never going to stop there because I can't wait 45 minutes to go through a drive-thru. And the only reason I go to McDonald's is because they are everywhere. They're ubiquitous. But I would pick Wendy's over McDonald's 9 out of 10 days of the week.
I don't disagree. Bellevue Way used to have right there by the Hyatt place, right there. There was I think there's a Wendy's still there. There's many nights that I went and got them snack wraps from Wendy's.
Who ordered the baked potato?
Someone on our text line, B and Puyallup, says, I like a Wendy's baked potato. Hey,
B, that's weird. Who goes there for a baked potato?
Well, if you want something that you might feel is a little healthier. Okay. You know what I've only recently discovered in the last 6 months? And welcome to 2025. But the whole app. Ordering off the app and rolling up to you get some good deals. Yeah. And if I'm just looking solely for those fries at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm ordering off the app.
Man.
Just a reminder that McDonald's calls the app users the heavy users. That's what they refer to their frequent flyers as.
Well, I
internally.
Can see. Yeah, I can see.
Allie and Lake Stevens. What's going on, Allie? Talk to me. Allie says, I think Wendy's fries are better than McDonald's these days.
Well, for some people, they're thicker. They're heartier. They're more potato-y.
Thicker isn't always better. Let me tell you something. McDonald's fries, y'all.
Oh, my God. Who does have the best fries? I mean, you said McDonald's. Like, who's second best? The thing I don't like, I think Burger King, now I'm on it.
Burger King.
I think Burger King has the best burgers.
Yep.
But their fries, what is that coating on it?
No. Ursula, thank you.
Yes.
Lillian She just asked me yesterday. Asked me about the Whopper. I think the Whopper burger
fantastic.
Is the best burger ever. And by the way, in the 90s, y'all, it was 99 cents for a Whopper with cheese.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Yes. Gee, I'm surprised you like the Whopper though, because they really take like a whole spatula and just whoop with the mayonnaise on that thing.
Yum.
Yeah, but it's got the ketchup mix, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the mayo is fine so long as it has another accoutrement with it.
Yeah. Now, Ursula, I didn't know he was going to agree with that. The Whopper burger is the best fast food burger. And one more thing. I don't know why the Big Mac was so famous. That thing's nasty. The Big Mac at McDonald's is nasty. Why was that so popular in the 80s?
It's still popular.
It's still popular.
It's just something
still not the best.
Layla says I have the best French fries.
She does.
She does. Anyone that cooks them, like also, if you find a place that cooks them in the real beef fat, beef tallow, oh my goodness,
actually,
that's the way to go. Or peanut oil second, but there's too many kids these days that can't handle it.
That's true. Oh my God, look.
We did a whole topic. You know what?
What?
It's almost lunch.
Happened? And you know what? You know what's happening right now? Our text line's going crazy.
Most popular topic of the day.
Ryan just says, what about Carl's Jr.? Hey, when I lived in Vancouver, Washington, and down in Oregon and all that, Carl's Jr. was the go-to.
Yeah. Okay, and I'll throw one other one out there.
What's up?
Like, why can't we have more Dairy Queens around?
Oh, man. Are you kidding me?
I love Dairy
Aside
Queen.
from the ice cream, the food at Dairy Queen is terrible.
On that one.
Are you kidding me? You order a burger at Dairy Queen?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Why would you do that?
Because they're
Wait
good.
a minute. Hold on.
Yes.
Hey, it's like being at a party. Everything was going cool, and Ursula says Dairy Queen, and the record player goes.
I have yet to see when we go to Dairy Queen. I have yet to see someone leave there without a happy face.
Okay, so dip cone or the Blizzard? What's your vote?
Blizzard.
Dip cone.
Blizzard. Hold on. Okay, we gotta go. Text message feedback, and then Ursula's words to live by.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Cold is leaking and rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee. so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
dayandnight.net. Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
When you think about retirement, what comes to mind? More travel, more family time, maybe finally slowing down enough to enjoy the life that you've built. And to get there, you need a plan that actually fits you. And that is why my husband, Mark, and I met with Marty at Trajan Wealth yesterday. She is a fiduciary advisor, and she took the time to understand our investments, our expenses, and our long-term goals. And she even raised a bunch of questions that we hadn't considered, and it left us feeling confident that the work that we have done so far will help us retire comfortably and leave a legacy. Trajan Wealth specializes in custom strategies for families with $500,000 or more in savings, focused on capital preservation, growth, and low-cost investments. Don't settle for a generic plan. Let Trajan Wealth design one that fits you. Call 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300, or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on mynorthwest.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. And I got to tell y'all something. We talked about all kinds of things here on the Gee and Ursula Show. And once again, you all responded with talking way more about who's got the best burgers. Wow. What the heck did we do all this work for earlier today?
Well, I think it just shows that a lot of people need a chance to chill, and it's great that we offer that on this show. Hey, speaking of not chilling, though, right now, there are less than 100 votes separating the two candidates in the Seattle mayoral race. Bobo in West Seattle said, for goodness sake, just get your vote in early. Don't wait until the last minute. If you've had your ballots for a while, don't be quiet and just wait for the results. Everything must be instant here in the United States. Take a chill pill.
Jamie Dimon says AI will give us a 3-day work week. 425 says, since when in the history of capitalism has a technology breakthrough translated to fewer hours, better pay, and improved life for workers? Here's what actually happens. Our productivity demands increase, the pay stays the same, and the increase in profits goes straight to Wall Street.
Doug in Mount Vernon says, Jamie Dimon wants us to accept AI because we want to continue exploiting the workers. His favorite rapper is tone deaf. Doug never fails.
Paul at 253 says, what scares me about AI is it's being put together by companies that don't seem to care about humans. They only appear to care about money and power.
On grocery store pricing errors, Mike in Portland says, I believe pricing accidents, quote unquote, about as much as I believe body cam malfunctions. Another one here.
Whoops. Hello, was off. I don't know what happened there.
Trinity in Bellevue says, if you use a shopper card, they can easily track you down. They can refund you the money that they overcharge. Force them to take these steps.
Therese in Graham says, I am so upset about digital coupons. I agree, Therese. My 94-year-old mother does not do digital, and Fred Meyer gives you a cheat sheet, but all coupons are on it.
Kevin in Seattle, make it a huge penalty and use the money to give the area food banks.
And then Lomax in Sammamish says, they need to get their act together, yes, but you don't want to penalize them out of business either. Does anyone want another closed grocery store?
Slow down, move over, and other common sense driving behaviors people can't get on board with. 425 says, as a delivery driver every day, I see the selfishness of other drivers as if they are the only person that matters on the road. I cannot tell you how many times vehicles have pulled around me and sped off only for me to pull up right beside, I'm laughing because that's so true, right behind them at the next stoplight. And the impatience of drivers is awful. A traffic light changes and within 2 seconds, the driver behind me is honking because I have not taken off yet.
425, you're exactly right.
They are. And by the way, again, I don't do this anymore, but there used to be a time that I'd pull up next to a car and I'd be so mad and they just keep looking straight. They won't even look at me.
Okay, Gee, I got a bone to pick with you, though. You said all the bad driving behavior is caused by people being late. I don't need to be late to be an impatient driver.
You know what? I stand corrected.
Yes.
You're right. Hey, I stand corrected. You're right.
On scenarios, my boyfriend wants me to pull out of a community play in which I make out with my former fiance. 253 says, there's no way I would be okay with my boyfriend or girlfriend making out with their ex-fiance under any circumstances. There are prior feelings there. It's not like a stranger you can play a role with and walk away from. This is an ex-fiance, so of course emotions are involved. No, I would not accept them taking that part.
Ursula, before we get off this, if the shoe was on the other foot and Long Live Mark was in the community theater and he had the same scenario, would you be okay with it?
No. That's just it. That's why I was saying. I'm like, yeah, I understand, but I think the question is, how much do you value that new relationship?
Yeah, good point. All right, Ursula, it's time for your good old words to live by. What's happening?
Well, on this Veterans Day, this is a quote. While only one day of the year is dedicated solely to honoring our veterans, Americans must never forget the sacrifices that many of our fellow countrymen and women have made to defend our country and to protect our freedoms. I just want to say thank you again to all of you veterans.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Man, Brady, you got any last words that you want to say before we go?
To the scenario segment with the ex-fiance, they are getting to the point where they're starting a Six Flags because all the red flags that she's starting to stack up.
Nice.
You know, Brady, you're pretty funny.
I appreciate it.
Brady's a good dude.
He is a good dude. Brady,
okay, favorite burger?
Yeah, what's your favorite burger, Brady?
Like place or just burger in general?
Both.
I mean, I got to give a shout out to Miners out in Yakima and Union Gap. They got great burgers out there. That's probably one of the better burgers I've had in my life.
Brady just went up 5 points.
Yeah, you did. Brady, one thing I know about you, Brady, is that, am I right? Your birthday's on Christmas, right?
That is correct.
And you and your parents still go to the casino for Christmas?
Yes, we do.
See?
Now I like you too.
Not me.
I'm getting so many new friends. But I can't get a girlfriend. What's wrong with me?
Okay, we're going to get off on that topic. We'll talk about that, Brady. I'll give you some advice. Thank you, Ursula. We got to go. Thank you, Chef. Thank you, Brady. You're the best, man. Hey, the Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Stick around. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody. Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind in the Care Partners Living difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Ooh, mate, remember those yodelers who met in the Alps? I wired them euros from the bank, and they sent me their yodels in a can.
You wired money for canned yodels? That is so dumb. Banks are slow, and they hide fees and overseas transfers and exchange rates.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
If you're gonna send money to Europe, just use Wise. Wise is super fast and never hides fees.
Smart. You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm Future You. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. And Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
You're halfway through a DIY car fix and boom, you're missing a part. It's okay because whatever it is, it's on eBay and it's guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love.
KIRO FM and HD1.